Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim. This is another Real Ideal Gear review, and today we're looking at a couple of pocket knives. I've just gotten them in. I've been carrying one of them quite a bit, and I'm really enjoying these two pocket knives. For one of them, I've been watching it on eBay for months, and I finally won a bid on one of them, and it's showing up here. So we have a Sun TS142. We'll be talking about this one first. And we also have the Monikala. I'm not exactly sure how to say it. Monikala. This is an eBay knife. I'm sorry, this is an Amazon knife. And titanium handle, great steel, great blade shape, good blade thickness. I love the deployment systems on here, thumb stud, flipper, all that. We're going to talk about that in a second. And we're going to talk about the Sun first. Sun is a knife or a company that I have actually grown to really like. I like Sun. I think they provide a quality product, actually, as much as it is a Chinese company and all that. It's a great product, and I have no issues with it. I've got another Sun I'll show out here in just a second when I compare these to other knives I have on the larger side of carry. These are on the medium to large side. I would say medium-large side EDC knives, and the reason I say that is because I'm always carrying a Victorinox. So to me, I've got my two small blades in here. This is the compact. I've got the Deluxe Tinker. I've got the Huntsman. In all three of those cases, I have two small knives that are built into the Victorinox, the Swiss Army knife. So I don't need a smaller knife. So I tend to carry a larger folding knife in my pocket for dedicated cutting purposes, and for heavier duty cutting purposes as well. That's why I carry a larger knife. I'm not overly redundant in the knife that I carry. So when it comes to my everyday carry, I'm always carrying three knives, two of them in a Victorinox and one of them in a dedicated folder like this. So the Sun, this one is I am not as proficient with the finger flick deployment. I'm not a fan of it, but I have to force myself to do this. So I picked one up, and this is the design. I absolutely love this design. I love the grind on here. I love the angles, the belly on the blade. Extremely sharp out of the factory. 0.15 inches thick blade stock on here, which is awesome. It makes heavier duty cutting tasks a breeze. With a belly like this, you can use it for outdoor activities, especially with game animals. I just think it's fantastic. Titanium one-piece handle, love that. Micarta, brown micarta inlay, carbon fiber inlay. Oh man, the list goes on. This is not a cheap knife. This is one that you have to bid for, and generally speaking, it's right around $200. I got it less than that, and that's why I was patient. I don't know how many of these I have bid on, and it was $240, $230, $220, and to me, it's just not quite worth that amount of money, but definitely under $200. Milled titanium pocket clip. As far as deep carry, this is not a super deep carry pocket clip. You've got a little bit of this sticking up above the pocket carry, the clip. So it works out all right. One of the complaints I have though is you have the frame lock here, but you have the carbon inlay, and this is actually something that I may end up grinding this off or taking this out. And I know that's like, well, you bought the knife, why are you already modifying it? Well, I think that's just kind of the way it goes. And I can see how far back it basically goes back to where the liner tab basically is there. But you make it your own, and I'm willing to do that. I don't think it's a big deal. The blade shape, it's M390 steel. Love it. The blade length is just over 3 inches. I think it's 3.15, 3.1 something. So just over 3 inches. So for whatever jurisdiction you're in, be aware of that. That it is over 3 inches in length for the blade. But look at that design. I mean, that design is fantastic. You pair that up, and this is something, oops, bump the camera here, but you pair that up with a watch. I mean, that's why I have these watches out here. Like, you can do some really cool things, I think, as far as just, if you're going to get a knife, if you have multiple knives, why not partner up those knives with you know, the accessory that goes along with it, which is the watch. So to me, this is kind of the whole package when it comes down to what you're carrying. And this is a great knife. It fits really well in the hand. I think it's great. You can choke up on it. The finger choil is great. There's no jimping in the back here. This is a smooth back on the blade here. Unfortunately, I wish there was some jimping on there. Yeah, you can get here, and you can also get super precise. Put your finger out here at the very tip for a very fine tip control out here with the tip of the knife, and you've got a very solid grip on the handle back here. Awesome, awesome. I'm working on the finger flicking. I get it. Yeah, this is the way things go. But I just wish there was a thumb stud on here. I can get used to the finger flicking, but I think I have to carry this for several weeks on end just to really get comfortable with the finger flick deployment. So Sun TS142. I've only seen this on Amazon. A little bit on the larger side of a folder, but again, I'm carrying a Swiss Army knife, so I'm okay with it. The Monikala, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. $38 on Amazon. What is it? The steel on here is 14C28N. Good steel. Okay. Love the shape of the blade. Compound grind. Has a hollow grind for most of it. I love the hollow grind. To me, that is fantastic. Titanium two-piece handle with some cutouts here to reduce the weight even more. Just great. The pocket clip's a little stiff. You know, it's something that, yeah, you gotta... the pocket itself, you're gonna have to really push that into the clip, but it's definitely secure. Definitely secure. There's like a detent here on the liner lock that when you come down, there's a stop. Okay, and it stops right here, and you push out just a little further, and you get past it, and it closes down. A little stiff yet. I'm gonna start working on it, oil it up a little bit. I think it's just, you know, a new knife. It's gonna take a little time just to kind of break in a little bit, but the flipper tab works awesome. And then, of course, the thumb stud. I love thumb studs. I think it's just fantastic systems. I got two of them here. I love those two. Those are my two favorite. Love the grind on here. Love the blade shape. It's got a little bit of a belly to it. Not as much as the other one, but I think this is probably the more common, probably more versatile blade because it has a little bit more of a straight edge on the inside half of the blade. Awesome. And again, you know, it's titanium handles, lightweight. Man, this is a lightweight knife. Okay. Overall, now these are, again, medium to large size knives. How do they compare? Let's put these this way here. How do they compare to some other knives that are out there? This is the TS388. This is another Sun. One of my favorite knives. You probably have seen this in some of my watch videos. I love the shape of this blade. Okay. Nice belly to it, but because the shape of the blade, more of the weight is kind of on the outer edge of, or the outer end of the blade, you know, flipping this thing out is a breeze. And again, look at the action on this knife. I mean, it just falls back into place. There is nothing about this knife. And this is a Sun TS388. Just falls back into place, right? Carbon fiber inlay. I believe this is also a titanium handle. I'll verify that. Titanium milled clip. Fantastic, fantastic knife. It has kind of a bulb end to it for a good grip on here. There is not a big enough finger choil to choke up on it. You typically don't when you have a flipper tab like that. That's a little bit more difficult to pull off. But the overall length, you know, you put the lanyard in here because, yes, that's part of the length. Longer knife. I do carry this one. Not very often, but I do carry it. This is the CJRB Crag. You know, this is kind of that modified sheep's foot, a little bit of a belly to it. Again, I love the belly on the blade, carbon fiber handles. But this has the lock up on top. And again, this is, you know, you look at the size. I've carried this one. This one's wider. So this takes up more real estate in your pocket, just width-wise. And you got to keep that in mind, too. So you got 4 knives there. These are the 2 new ones that have come in. And these are going to be great everyday carry knives. Heavier duty than some of my smaller ones, like the Elementum, like the Pyrite. I love those 2. Those are great everyday carry knives. I carry those when I'm not carrying the Swiss Army knife. When I'm carrying the Swiss Army knife, I carry something like this. These are the knives I carry when I have a Swiss Army knife with me. Something with a little bit more beef to it. All right. So let me know what you think of these knives. We got the Sun. This is the TS142. I think this is great. Goes along with, you know, match it up with a watch. You know, have some fun with the everyday carry. There's plenty of tactical knives out there. Okay, get a tactical knife. Get your tacticoolness going. But then go after something that's got a little bit more, I don't know, thought to it, to some of the other stuff that you're doing, other occasions that you might be having the knife with you. You know, and this knife, I'm going to be carrying this when I'm hunting. Finger flick, yeah, but look at that blade. I mean, that's a great hunting knife, especially for skinning, all right? And just all-around blade shape. For 38 bucks, D2 steel, no, this is not D2, this is a 14C28. For 38 bucks, I mean, wow. Hollow grind. Yeah, explore a little bit. I think there's so many options out there. Nice jimping on the back here as well. I didn't mention that. So many options out there. Just, you know, explore this a little bit. So there you go. Put your comments down below. Do you have a Sun knife? What do you think of Sun as a company? How about these Amazon knives? When they say 14C28N steel, is it actually that kind of steel, or are they just kind of saying, yeah, we think it is, and nobody ever really checks? But I think it is. As far as I know, when I'm sharpening these knives, I can kind of tell which ones have a really hard steel to them, which ones are a little bit softer. And of course, over time, you can see which ones have more corrosion resistance as well. So these two over here are D2 steel. Okay, so anyway, love to hear your comments on that. Let me know if there's any other knives out there I should be checking out around this range. These blades on both of these knives are just over 3 inches. Great blades. They're both right at that 0.1, 0.15 thickness. Yeah, just a great overall size. My name's Tim. This has been another Real Ideal Gear review, and we'll catch you guys next time.